Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling like your body aged 20 years overnight? Your back is tight, your neck won't turn properly, your shoulders feel heavy, and instead of feeling rested, you feel worse than when you went to bed. That's not normal, and more importantly, it's not something you have to live with. What's even more surprising is that this stiffness and soreness is often caused by things you're doing every single night without realizing it. And here's why you should stay with me until the end, because the final fix I'm going to share is simple, takes less than 5 minutes, and can completely change how your body feels every morning starting tomorrow. Let's start with the biggest mistake most people make: your sleep position. That twists your spine, compresses your joints, or puts uneven pressure on your muscles. Your body spends hours in a strained posture. Imagine holding a slightly awkward position for 6 to 8 hours, of course, is going to wake up stiff. Side sleeping without proper support, stomach sleeping that strains your neck, or even back sleeping with the wrong pillow height can all contribute to this problem. Then there's muscle inactivity. During the day, your muscles are constantly moving, contracting, and circulating blood. But at night, when you stay in one position for hours, your muscles essentially cool down. Blood flow slows, joints stiffen, and your body becomes less flexible. That's why when you wake up, your first few movements feel tight and uncomfortable. It's your body trying to restart after being inactive for so long. Now let's talk about something people underestimate: your mattress and pillow. If your mattress is too soft, your body sinks and your spine loses alignment. If it's too firm, it creates pressure points that stress your joints. And your pillow, if it doesn't support your neck properly, you're setting yourself up for stiffness before you even fall asleep. Can quietly damage your posture every single night. But there's also an internal factor: your body's chemistry. Overnight dehydration plays a bigger role than most people think. When your body is slightly dehydrated, your muscles and joints don't function as smoothly, which can lead to stiffness. Add in low-grade inflammation from diet, stress, or lack of movement, and your body becomes even more prone to waking up sore. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for: the easy fix. Adjust your sleep position so your spine stays neutral. If you sleep on your side, place a pillow between your knees to reduce lower back strain. Use a pillow under your knees to reduce lower back strain. Second, invest in proper support: a mattress and pillow that keep your body aligned, not sinking or straining. Third, hydrate before bed, not excessively, but enough to support muscle function overnight. And finally, this is the simplest but most effective step: a quick 3 to 5 minute stretch routine before. And after waking up, gentle movements signal your muscles to relax at night and reactivate in the morning. When you combine these small changes, something powerful happens. Your body stops fighting against your sleep and starts recovering the way it's supposed to. You wake up feeling lighter, more mobile, and actually rested. So if you've been accepting morning stiffness as just part of getting older or something you can't control, it's time to rethink that, because the truth is your body is responding to your habits, and once you fix those, you can completely change how you feel every single morning. Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling like your body aged overnight, as if the simple act of sleeping somehow made you worse instead of better? Your back feels tight, your neck refuses to turn smoothly, your shoulders are heavy, and instead of feeling refreshed, you feel like you've been in a low-grade battle all night. That moment when you sit up and instinctively stretch, hoping the stiffness will disappear, only to realize it lingers. That's the experience so many people normalize, but it's actually your body sending you a very clear signal. Sleep is supposed to be your body's most powerful recovery tool, yet for many people, it quietly becomes a source of stress on muscles and joints. And here's the part that should grab your attention: this isn't random, and it isn't just about age. It's about what's happening while you're asleep, hour after hour, without you being aware of it. Think about how sensitive your body is during the Diu shift positions when you're uncomfortable. You stretch when something feels tight, you adjust constantly without even thinking. But at night, that feedback loop changes. You fall asleep in one position, and if that position isn't supportive or neutral, your body can stay there for long stretches of time. That means certain muscles are slightly shortened, others are overstretched, joints are compressed, and your spine may. not be aligned the way it should be. It's not dramatic enough to wake you up, but it's enough to create strain that builds over several hours. By the time morning comes, your body has essentially been held in a subtle but stressful position long enough to create stiffness and soreness. What makes this even more interesting is that your brain doesn't always register this as a problem during sleep because you're not fully conscious to respond to discomfort in the same way. So instead of correcting the issue in real time, your body absorbs it. That's why you wake up feeling it all at once, the tightness, the resistance, the reduced mobility. And if this pattern repeats night after night, it becomes your new normal, even though it shouldn't be. The real hook here is understanding that this is something you can actually control. Most people assume morning stiffness is inevitable, something tied to aging or just how their body is. But in reality, it's often a reflection of small habits that compound over time. Once you recognize that your sleep setup, your positioning, and your nighttime routine are actively shaping how your body feels in the morning, you start to see the opportunity for change. And what's coming next is where things shift, because when you learn how to adjust even one or two of these factors correctly, you can interrupt that overnight strain cycle and start waking up with a body that feels supported, aligned, and ready to move instead of stiff and resistant. The hidden culprit behind waking up stiff and sore is something most people never question: the way you sleep. It feels natural, automatic, and harmless, but your sleep position can quietly put your body under hours of strain without you realizing it. Think about your spine for a moment. It's designed to stay in a neutral alignment where your head, shoulders, and hips are all supported in a straight, balanced lie. But many common sleeping positions pull your body out of that alignment. You sleep on your stomach, your neck is forced to rotate to one side for hours, which places constant tension on the muscles and joints. If you sleep on your side without proper support, your top leg can drop forward, twisting your hips and lower back. Even back sleeping, which is often considered the safest, can become a problem if your pillow is too high or too flat, pushing your neck out of its natural curve. These small misalignments may not feel dramatic in the moment, but over the course of 6 to 8 hours, they add up. Your muscles are forced to hold subtle tension to compensate for that imbalance, and your joints are placed under uneven pressure. By morning, your body reflects that stress through stiffness, soreness, and reduced mobility. What makes this particularly tricky is that your body doesn't always wake you up to fix it or correct your tension. You instinctively shift, stretch, or correct your posture. But during sleep, that awareness reduced. You might stay in a compromised position for much longer than you ever would while awake. This means your muscles can become slightly shortened or overstretched, and your spine can remain in a less than ideal position long enough to create discomfort that only shows up when you wake up and start moving again. That first stretch in the morning isn't just a habit, it's your body trying to undo hours of subtle strain. Another layer to this is how your body distributes weight while you sleep. Certain positions create pressure points, especially around your shoulders, hips, and lower back. If those areas aren't properly supported, your body compensates by tightening surrounding muscles to stabilize itself. Over time, this can lead to chronic tightness in specific areas, making it feel like the same spots are always sore when you wake up. And because this happens gradually, many people never connect it back to their sleep position. The important realization here is that your posture is not fix you, can train it, adjust it, and support it in ways that work with your body instead of against it. Small changes like adding a pillow between your knees, adjusting the height of your pillow, or being more intentional about how you lie down can help you get a better night's sleep, can significantly reduce the strain your body experiences over.
And that alone can dramatically change how you feel when you wake up. Another major reason you wake up stiff and sore has nothing to do with injury or even your mattress. That's the simple fact that your body isn't moving for hours at a time.
During the day, your muscles are constantly active, even when your mattress sets. The simple fact that you're turning your head, small adjustments, shifting your weight, turning your head, stretching your arms, these micro movements keep blood flowing, joints lubricated, and muscles responding. Your body thrives on that movement. But when ya fall asleep, especially if you stay in one position for long stretches, that constant circulation and activity slows down significantly. Your muscles essentially go into a low activity state. And while that's part of rest, too much stillness comes with a cost. When a muscle stays in one position for a prolonged period, it begins to lose flexibility temporarily. Blood flow decreases slightly, oxygen delivery isn't as dynamic, and the tissues can feel tighter. At the same time, your joints rely on movement to stay well lubricated. Without regular motion, the fluid inside your joints doesn't circulate as efficiently, which can make them feel stiff when you first start moving again in the morning. That's why those first few steps out of bed or that initial stretch can feel uncomfortable. It's not damage, it's your body trying to wake up systems that have been relatively inactive for I. There's also an interesting neurological component to this. Your muscles slightly engage during waking hours. This is a protective mechanism to help you rest, but it also means your muscles can become less responsive. When you suddenly ask them to work again in the morning, they don't immediately perform at their best. That delay can feel like stiffness or resistance, especially in areas like your lower back, neck, and shoulders, which are more sensitive to prolonged inactivity. What makes this issue more noticeable for some people is how little they move during sleep. While it's normal to shift positions throughout the night, some individuals remain relatively still, especially if they're deeply asleep or extremely tired. The longer your body stays in one position, the more pronounced that stiffness can become. It's similar to sitting in one position for too long during the day. When you finally stand up, you feel tight and need a moment to loosen up. Sleep just extends that period of stillness much longer. The key thing to understand is that your body isn't designed for complete immobility even during rest. It needs gentle transitions and signals to maintain flexibility and comforting. Small habits like light stretching before bed or gentle movement when you wake up can make such a noticeable difference. These actions help restore circulation, re-engage your muscles, and bring your joints back into motion more smoothly. Once you start supporting your body in this way, you'll notice that the stiffness you once thought was unavoidable begins to fade, and mornings start to feel less like a struggle and more like a natural continuation of rest. Recover your mattress and pillow might be the most overlooked reasons you wake up stiff and sore, and the tricky part is that you get used to them even when they're working against your body. But falling asleep and staying in proper alignment are two very different things. Their setup must be fine, but falling asleep and staying in proper alignment are two very different things. Depends on consistent support throughout the night. And if that support is off even slightly, it can create hours of silent strain on your muscles and joints. A mattress that is too soft allows your body to sink unevenly, which can cause your spine to curve out of its natural alignment. Your hips might dip lower than your shoulders, or your lower back might collapse inward, forcing surrounding muscles to work overtime just to stabilize you. On the other hand, a mattress that is too firm can create pressure points, especially around your shoulders and hips, leading your body to subtly tense up in response. That tension may not wake you up, but it builds over time, showing up as soreness when you finally get out of bed. Your pillow plays an equally important role, especially when it comes to your neck and upper spine. If your pillow is too high, it pushes your head forward or to the side, straining the muscles along your neck and upper back. If it's too flat, your head may fall backward. or tilt unnaturally, again disrupting alignment. What you want is a pillow that keeps your neck in a neutral position, supporting the natural curve without forcing it in any direction. The challenge is that the right pillow isn't the same for everyone. It depends on how you sleep. Side sleepers need more height to fill the space between the shoulder and head, while back sleepers typically need something lower and more supportive. Without that customization, your neck ends up compensating all night long. Another factor people rarely consider is how worn out their mattress and pillow might be. Over time, materials break down, losing their ability to provide consistent support. What once felt comfortable can gradually become uneven or saggy, and because this change happens slowly, you don't always notice it. Your body does, though. It adapts by tightening certain muscles and shifting your posture to cope with the lack of support. That adaptation is what leads to waking up feeling instead of refreshed. Temperature and material also play a subtle role. If your mattress retains too much heat, your body may become slightly restless, leading to micro adjustments that prevent deep restorative sleep. If it's too rigid or unresponsive, it doesn't accommodate your natural curves, forcing your body into positions that create tensions. That your sleep surface isn't passive, it actively shapes your posture for a third of your life. When it supports you properly, your muscles can truly relax, your spine stays aligned, and your body gets the recovery it needs. But when it doesn't, even slightly, it turns your night into a long period of low-level stress that you only fully notice when you wake up. There's another factor that most people completely overlook when it comes to waking up stiff and sore, and it's happening inside your body while you sleep. Inflammation combined with dehydration. It doesn't feel as obvious as a bad mattress or an awkward sleep position, but it can have just as powerful an effect on how your body feels in the morning. Throughout the night, your body continues to carry out repair processes, regulate hormones, and manage fluid balance. But if you go to bed slightly dehydrated, your muscles and joints don't have the optimal environment they need to recover properly. Water plays a critical role in keeping your tissues flexible and your joints lubricated, and even mild dehydration can reduce that efficiency. As a result, when you wake up, your muscles can feel tighter, your joints less smooth, and your overall movement more restricted. At the same time, inflammation works quietly in the background. This isn't the kind of inflammation you notice immediately, like swelling from an injury. It's more subtle, often influenced by your daily habits. Things like poor diet, high sugar intake, lack of movement, stress, even inadequate sleep quality can all contribute to a slightly elevated inflammatory state in your body. When that happens, your muscles and joints become more sensitive and more prone to stiffness. Overnight, when your body is relatively still, this sensitivity can become more noticeable. You're not moving enough to work through that stiffness, so it builds up and you feel it the moment you start moving in the morning. Another layer to this is how your body manages fluids while you sleep. You're going several hours without drinking water, and during that time, you're still losing fluids through breathing and subtle processes like sweating. If you didn't hydrate well during the day, you start the night already at a disadvantage. By morning, your body is in a slightly depleted state, which can affect how your muscles contract and relax. This can create that familiar feeling of heaviness or tightness when you first get out of bed. What makes this issue tricky is that it's gradual, cumulative. You don't suddenly wake up one day feeling stiff because of a single night of dehydration or inflammation. It builds over time. Day after day of not drinking enough water, eating foods that promote inflammation, or not giving your body the recovery it needs can slowly shift how your body feels each morning. And because it happens gradually, many people assume it's just part of aging or something they can't control. The reality is that your internal environment matters just as much as your external setup. When your body is well hydrated and inflammation is kept in check, your muscles and joints function more smoothly even after hours of rest. Supporting your body from the inside through proper hydration, balanced nutrition, and consistent movement creates the conditions for better recovery overnight. And when those conditions are in place, you start to notice a difference, not just in how you feel when you wake up Without that lingering stiffness holding you back now, let's bring everything together into the part that actually changes how you feel, the easy fix. Because the truth is, none of what we've talked about requires complicated routines, expensive treatments, or drastic lifestyle changes. What it does require is being intentional about a few small habits that directly influence how your body behaves overnight and how it responds in the morning. The first step starts before you even lie down. Instead of going straight from a busy, active state into complete stillness, you want to give your body a transition. Just a few minutes of gentle stretching, nothing intense, nothing forced, can signal your muscles to relax and lengthen. When you do this, you're essentially telling your body that it's safe to release built up tension, which reduces the chances of carrying that tightness into your sleep. Next comes positioning, and this is where small adjustments make a huge difference. You don't need to completely change how you sleep, but you do need to support it properly. If you're on your side, placing a pillow between your knees keeps your hips aligned and prevents your lower back from twisting. If you're on your back, a pillow under your knees helps maintain the natural curve of your spine and reduces pressure on your lower back. These are simple changes, but they stop your body from falling into those subtle, stressful positions that create stiffness over hours. Hydration is another easy but powerful fix. You don't need to drink excessive amounts of water right before bed, but making sure you're consistently hydrated throughout the day and having a small amount in the evening helps your muscles and joints stay more responsive. It supports circulation, flexibility, and overall recovery while you sleep. Combined with that, being mindful of what you eat, especially late at night, can help reduce that low-grade inflammation that contributes to morning soreness. Then comes what you do when you wake up, and this is where most people go wrong. Instead of jumping out of bed quickly and expecting your body to perform immediately, give it a moment to re-engage. A simple stretch, a slow rotation of your neck, rolling your shoulders, or gently extending your back can help restore circulation and signal your muscles to wake up. This doesn't take long, but it makes a noticeable difference in how your body transitions from rest to movement. What's powerful about all of this is how quickly your body responds. You're not waiting weeks or months to feel a change. Often within just a few days of making these adjustments, you'll notice that mornings feel easier, lighter, and more comfortable. The stiffness that once felt unavoidable starts to fade, and your body begins to feel like it actually recovered overnight instead of just paused. And once you experience that shift, it becomes clear that waking up stiff and sore was never something you had to accept. It was simply something you hadn't adjusted yet. So when you step back and look at the bigger picture, waking up stiff and sore is not some random, unavoidable part of life. It's your body responding to a combination of small, repeated habits. The way you sleep, how long your body stays still, the support you give it, and even what's happening internally with hydration and inflammation all work together to shape how you feel each morning. And the most important takeaway is this: your body is not working against you, it's adapting to what you give it. If those inputs create strain, you feel stiffness. If they create support, you feel recovery. What makes this empowering is how simple the solution really is. You don't need to change everything overnight. Just a few intentional adjustments supporting your body in a neutral position, improving your sleep setup, staying hydrated, and adding small moments of movement before bed and after waking can completely shift outcome. These are small actions, but they interrupt a cycle that may have been affecting you for months or even years. And once you start waking up without that familiar tightness, without that resistance in your neck, back, or shoulders, you realize how much it was holding you back. Your mornings feel smoother, your energy feels more natural, and your body feels ready instead of reluctant. That's the difference between simply getting through the night and actually recovering during it. So instead of accepting stiffness as normal, start paying attention to what your body is telling you. Because the moment you make these changes, you're not just improving your mornings, are improving how your body functions every single day moving forward.